So I wasn't gonna make a video right now. I couldn't think of. I was only gonna put something out when I really felt like there was something that I needed to say. All right. So one thing I've been trying to do is implement imperfect action. Right. So the video that I posted, it doesn't look fucking perfect. It doesn't look great, and I'm super guilty of putting things off until I think they're perfect, right? So I'm not going to do something until it's perfect. I'm not going to do this until it's perfect. And what happens is I never do anything, right? So so much procrastination, right? Like I've wanted to do so many things, and that goes back to the just thinking and wishing and never accomplishing anything, right? So I've spent so many years just sitting in my head, not doing anything, but just thinking of scenarios and scenarios and scenarios. And what happens is you get anxiety, right? Like if you're anxious, you're living in the future. If you're depressed, you're living in the past, right? So just staying in my head. So now just implementing imperfect action, right? Just do things, right? And action alleviates anxiety, right? As if you're in your head, you're thinking, you're coming up with a million scenarios, your emotions are complementing those scenarios. So you're stressing yourself out for things that have never actually happened in real life, right? You're just making these things up in your head, and your body doesn't know the difference between things that are actually going on or things that you're thinking, right? There's a placebo effect for a reason, right? You give people a sugar pill and, they think it cures their heart problems or whatever, whatever it is. But the mind is powerful, right? So you got to be careful what you tell yourself. But so I thought I'd just take imperfect action on this video and put it out however. But just a little something on gratitude, right? So we hear about it all the time, and sometimes it's hard, right? You're not happy with your situation, and you feel like there's nothing to be grateful of, right? You go down a spiral of shitty thinking of why does this happen to me, over and over again, right? And it kind of snowballs into a bad day, a bad week, a bad year, a bad month, whatever, So with gratefulness, if you think about it, say if someone's looking at you, right? And whatever it is, God, the universe, or whatever, and they see you, and they see you overwhelmed, right? And they see you overwhelmed and not grateful for shit, wishing for more, wanting more. And they're like, this person is overwhelmed, we're not going to put more on his plate right now because he can't handle it. Think about the opposite. As soon as you're grateful for your situation, for what you have, then they're like, oh, you know what? This person has their shit together. They can handle more. I'm going to give them more. So that's how you got to kind of think about that mindset, right? Like if you had more, could you handle it right now? If you had more customers, if you had more work, if you had more responsibilities, could you actually handle them right now? Is your life set up? Are your systems set up? Are your habits set up to, be able to keep up with the demand? And the answer is probably no. It's be, do, have, right? Not have, do, be. You have to be first, and then you will have. So, if you want to be a millionaire, you have to first act like a millionaire, have millionaire habits, and then you will make your millions, right? Because you see this in lottery winners, right? So, people win the lottery, and they buy a bunch of shit, and they're fucking broke again. They're back to the same thing, whether it's a year, whether it's 2 years, however long it takes, depending on their spending habits, to make it through that cash, right? Why are they not building more millions or continuing that on? Because they have the same habits of a broke person, the same habits they had prior to winning the money. So the money wasn't sustainable, right? It came and went just like that. So if you got more on your plate right now, would you be able to handle it? So you have to start implementing the millionaire habits, implementing the consistency, and that way you'll have what you want. But it starts with being grateful for what you have now, implementing those things slowly, and then you'll end up having those results. And it's kind of like fake it till you make it, almost, right? You have to start acting as if you already have the things you want. Living, how would that person act that already has everything they want? How would that person act that has the things you want? And you have to live into that. You have to be that person first, and then you will have those things. So whatever it is to you, in your mind, whatever that successful person, whatever you're working towards, start implementing those habits now, that mindset now. Be grateful for what you have now, and then you'll make room for more. So I don't know, this video's not perfect, right? So I'm just taking imperfect action, putting things out there as imperfect as it is, but doing something to move forward. So see if you can implement that same thing, right? Take imperfect action. Don't wait for things to be 100%. Don't wait till you have everything planned out, because you're never going to have things 100%. Things are never going to be perfect. Situations are never going to be ideal, right? There's always going to be something happening in your life. And if you're waiting for things to be perfect, you're missing opportunities. So kind of look at things. I'm like talking to me. This is what I've had to do. I've missed so many opportunities in my life because I wasn't ready. I didn't feel prepared. And as soon as I let that go, things started happening, and they start ramping up. They say jump and figure out the parachute on the way down, right? And then clarity comes in the doing. You'll understand as you start doing. But if you're just sitting and thinking and waiting for it to be perfect, it's never going to happen. But that's some things that help me, and I don't know, see if it helps somebody else.